Hey, what is up guys, this is Johnny Geiger. In this video we're gonna have a look at the top 10 tricks that were invented by Rodney Mullen. There is a video about this topic on YouTube already, but it doesn't contain a lot of information, and I think the history of skateboarding is very interesting and it's very important. Due to that, I decided to do the same kind of video, including more information, and also my trick choice differs a little. Rodney Mullen is a skateboarding legend and he's credited for inventing the most important tricks in the sport. I once read an article on the internet that he invented around 270 tricks. This number sounds accurate to me since he invented all the basics for modern street skating. All of his video parts were fully packed with crazy variations of his inventions, shocking the skate world by showing what actually was possible on a skateboard. Here are his top 10 inventions that helped to shape skateboarding how it is today. Let's start off with number 10, the ollie. The original ollie was actually invented by Alan Gilfand in 1978, but he was only able to do this on a vert ramp. Like, it was kind of like lifting your nose into some sort of scoop. But in 1982, Rodney Mullen came up with the OLLIE-POP. Made it possible to gain air on flat ground only without a ramp, go up and down on obstacles, like even bigger stuff like gaps and stair. You could probably say that day modern street skating was born. Mullen was not initially impressed by his ollies, but he realized it opened up a second elevated plane on how to do tricks. That leads us to number 9, the kickflip. Probably the most popular trick on the planet. Kind of works the same way as an ollie. You also have to pop, you have to flick. Even non-skaters know this trick. Probably the first question when you tell them that you skate, they're gonna ask you, can you kickflip or backflip? But the new ollie version of the kickflip that Rodney invented allowed to gain more air. So he made it possible to kickflip into a slide or grind, down a gap, up a stair. Basically, he opened up this world too. Also, I think this is the trick you see the most in modern street skating videos, like different versions of it, like kickflip into backtail. Number 9, kickflip, also invented in 1982. Number 8, impossible. Now that Rodney invented a way to flip his board, he started thinking of other ways. His skater friends would say it's impossible when he came up with the idea to flip his board vertically 360 degrees. Until he did it. Now you know where the impossible, this legendary trick has its name from. Remember, we are in the early 80s still, and skateboarding was gifted with a technical trick like the impossible already. And all of that because of Rodney Mullen. 1 year passed, 1983, and he came up with the 360 flip as our number 7. This is also a trick that looks very impressive, a 360 shove it, adding a kickflip. This variation is one of the favorite tricks of many street skaters nowadays. It's only been 1 year since he invented the ollie, and he comes up with a complex trick like that. The 360 flip would show skaters the possibilities of combining different tricks. Number 6, ollie airwalk. This is another trick that he transferred from vert skating into street skating. Tony Hawk already did this trick a few years ago on a vert ramp. Rodney would figure out a way to do it on flat ground with his OLLIE-POP technique. For freestyle skaters, it was very common to use their hands doing tricks. In street skating, it is still like less accepted to do grab tricks. This is another example where Rodney takes a trick from vert to the streets. He invented the ollie airwalk on flat ground, and in the same year he came up with the ollie fingerflip on flat ground. With the ollie fingerflip, he figured out a way to do a kickflip without using his feet. This has been such a long time ago, and it's hard of thinking that something like this is possible. I remember when I learned how to finger flip, in the very beginning I was just like, this is not possible. How are people doing this trick? I just couldn't figure it out in the beginning. Especially if nobody has done this before, but he probably had some practice in it from freestyle skating, and now he would combine it with the ollie-pop technique. Once again, ollie-pop. This trick hadn't been done on vert yet, but Tony Hawk managed to land this trick in the same year on a vert ramp. Now it gets like super complex, super difficult. Number 4, every kind of underflip variations. And by underflip variation, I'm talking about a real underflip. It means that you do a fully flipped rotation, flipping it back with the top of your toes from underneath. One more time, our perception of what was possible will be redefined. And imagine, while skaters still were messing with the tricks that he came up in the early 80s, he started doing this kind of underflip variation in the early 90s. You could definitely say he was ahead of his time. Like even nowadays, not a lot of people are able to do this kind of real underflip variations. Next trick, we are in the top 3 of this video, the dark slide. A dark slide means that you slide upside down, dark, like the same color as your grip tape. You're gonna slide on your grip tape, doing a sort of board slide. This is a real signature trick of Rodney Mullen. Even though the very first dark slide, I gotta admit, was not landed by Rodney Mullen, it was done by Mark Gonzalez. Also in 1992, I guess, in a blind video. He cavemans into it, means he's holding his board and just drops it. Rodney was the very first person who would figure this out only using his feet. Over time, he invented like many different versions of it. You can see in this video parts, virtual reality, almost round 3. It's fully packed of DARKSLIDE and BDs. Number 2, also invented in the same year, the CASPERSLIDE. The CASPERSLIDE is a freestyle trick that was invented in the 70s, I guess. I'm not really sure about this fact. With this trick, Rodney Mullen invented a new kind of manual and slide. He did this by doing a slide while he is Casper stalling. I just recently learned how to do this trick. I gotta say, it's like super hard. It's very difficult. Rodney invented it 25 years ago. Once again, he made the impossible possible. Another hint that this trick is super difficult. Not a lot of skaters can do this trick nowadays, even though it is like super good looking. I would say a lot of people are not capable of doing this trick because it takes such a long time to get into it. It's so hard to hold balance. Like, it was really painful to learn. We made it to the top spot of this list. The number 1, Primo slides. Right name in freestyle skating is actually rail positioning. Primo is like a more common term in street skating. Most of the time primos happen in street skating is unintentionally, like you just not do the full kickflip rotation and land in this rail position and you're gonna fall. But there was this one person, and of course it was Rodney Mullen. He was thinking outside of the box. He figured out a way to kickflip or heel flip, do any sort of flip trick into primo, rail, stall, and sliding in it. There have been a lot of never been done variations in almost round 3. I would say some of these primo slide variations will never be landed again, because this is another sort of trick that only a few people can do. I only witnessed one person who can do this trick on a consistent basis, because once again they are like super hard, so technical. It's so hard to manage a kickflip flipping into rail stall, and it's way harder to slide on it. It's super hard to balance. It is so difficult. That was it. These were the top 10 tricks that Rodney Mullen invented. Now you know why he is the godfather of modern street skating. Skaters sometimes tend to forget this and kinda ignore Rodney because he still has this freestyle accent in his skateboarding. Some street skaters are not into his style of skateboarding, but you just can't deny that he did like the hardest, most technical tricks ever. Thanks a lot, Rodney, for inventing these tricks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I could give you some detailed information about the history of street skating. I hope I could develop your understanding where we come from. If you want to subscribe to my channel, do so by clicking on this button right here. If you want to watch a video about, like, I give some basic tricks on learning how to do every trick in skateboarding, like 5 steps that work on every trick and other aspects of life in general. Have a great day, guys. Namaste.